Today on Financial Brew, we'll be setting up a Nano Ledger S. Hi, welcome to Financial Brew. My name is Candace, and as always, I'm going to be your guide today as we take one more trip into the financial verse. Okay, so I think the first question that really should come to mind is, well, what is a hardware wallet? In a nutshell, a hardware wallet is simply, well, it's a piece of hardware. It's a physical device that holds the keys required to access the blockchain where your crypto is stored. So it doesn't actually contain your crypto, but it contains the passwords required to authenticate and to prove ownership of that crypto on the blockchain. Pretty simple. It does provide the best security for the safety of your crypto assets. There's a saying in the world of crypto, not your keys, not your crypto. Now, what that all means is that when you first start buying crypto, you're normally going to buy them on an exchange, and you'll normally leave your crypto on that exchange. That exchange has usually has very good security. However, history has shown these exchanges can get hacked. And in some cases, there have been some less than reputable exchanges that have popped up, taken everybody's money, and then left Dodge. So you can get burned. And when you're dealing with your finances, getting burned is not always where you want to be. That's the whole idea of the hardware wallet. It's taking control of your crypto and protecting it in the best way possible. Now, does that mean everybody should have a hardware wallet? That's really up to you. It comes down to the level of risk that you're willing to accept. In my case, I prefer the hardware wallet. It's good knowing that my crypto is absolutely safe. And if something happens to the exchanges, I don't have to worry about it. But you'll have to make up your own mind when it comes to that. Now, what we're going to do here today is we're actually going to set up a Ledger Nano S. So that's going to be kind of fun. To do that, I first of all have to get it from my cat. Okay, so I think the first thing that we're going to do is, well, let's open this up. Let's take a look and see what we got inside the box. So first we're going to, of course, remove the wrapper. Sometimes these wrappers can be a pain to get off, but this one seems to be going pretty good. It's not a lot of wrapper, but holy banana bread, you know what? There's enough wrapper here that you could suffocate a gerbil. Oh dear. Oh gosh. I am a huge fan of pets, so in all seriousness, never leave stuff around that, could accidentally hurt one of your little loved ones. Now, let's actually take a gander and see what we got inside this box. Just need to pull the lid off here. There we go. So we got a little bit of instructions, and of course you can see as well, we've got the actual ledger. Now, I ordered, for this time around, I ordered the jade green. So probably that's why I use that in the picture as well above. But you'll see those two buttons. Those two buttons are really important because that's going to be how we navigate on the ledger. And there's where we plug in our connector. And you'll see that here in a moment. It's a little deeper in the box. Just get this here out of the way. Pull this up and get it out of the way. And here comes a little bit of instructions in here. In addition to these instructions, there's also going to be our security cards, which is where we're going to put our passcode. So right here on this recovery sheet, let me just turn this around here so you can see the other side. This is where you're going to put all of those wonderful words that that you can either memorize or find a secure way to store them. And we'll talk a little bit more as we actually create one of these in a little bit. And here, of course, is, well, this is our connector. Just gotta remove this little twist tie. Holy banana breads. They make these twist ties harder every year, I swear. It's almost like doing a Rubik's Cube. But, oh, holy cow, I think I was twisting it the wrong way. Of course, yeah, it's the pressure of being on video and trying to twist at the same time. That's exactly what it is, but here we go. So here's our cord. As you can see, we got USB, so it'll plug into your USB on your computer. And then this other end plugs into our hardware wallet, like this. Well, this way. The other way was not quite there. So that's what we have in the box. There is also, if you look down below here, we also get like a lanyard as well. So let's take a quick look at that. And it's just, you can, if you want to like hook your ledger to it and wear it around your neck or something like that. You know, maybe put it in a briefcase with some handcuffs. However it is that you wish to keep it secure. All right, so now that we've had a chance to look at the actual physical hardware, at this point, what we're going to do is, well, we're going to go to the next step, which is to download some software called Ledger Live. As I said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to download and install Ledger Live from www.ledger.com/start. So let's head on over into the internet here. All right, whoops, bring up my dock, and we'll bring up ledger.com/start. So if you get lost in the process, it gives you the instructions right here. So step 1, step 2, scroll down, step 3, and step 4. So in our case, we're here for step number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to download Ledger Live app, and it will give you different options. So you can download a version for Mac, Windows, or Linux, and that will get you going. So you're going to download that, and you're going to install it. Once you've installed it, let's launch it. And when you launch it, this is what you're gonna get here. Let me pull it up. There we go. Welcome to Ledger. So we'll click on Get Started. There's the terms of use. Definitely review those. And then click on the I've read the terms and policies, and then enter Ledger app. This will bring us in to a screen where we can select which version of Ledger do we have. In this case, we have the Nano S. You could have gotten the Nano X. The big difference is capacity. Nano S can only hold 4 cryptocurrencies. Nano X holds more. Simple as that. I think as a beginner, 4 is probably a good place to start. So we're going to choose Nano S because that is the one that we have. So then it will give us a couple of options. First time using your Nano S, which is what we're going to do, but you'll notice below there, already have a recovery phrase. So if, let's say, you lost your Nano S and you wanted to get your crypto back, well, what you would do is you would choose I already have a recovery phrase, and the phrase that we're going to build in a little bit here, you would enter that here, and that would give you full access right back. So that's a beautiful thing. You don't have to worry about what happens to your actual ledger, because you can get your stuff back as long as you keep that recovery phase. Now, if you lose the recovery phase, there's nothing you can do. Your crypto would definitely be gone forever if that were the case. So don't lose your recovery phase, and definitely use it if you ever have to recover your crypto. Okay, perfect. Now let's go. So we're going to set up a new Nano S. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to give you some basics. So access your crypto. Your crypto assets are stored on the blockchain, as we mentioned before. You need a private key to access and manage them. Of course we do. Okay. Own your private key. And that's what we're going to be setting up here today, is we're going to be setting up a private key. Stay offline. That's what cold storage is all about. You may hear the word hot storage or warm storage. that means that they're still online, so there's extra vulnerability to that compared to cold storage. Cold storage, as I said earlier, is your best security choice. All right, validate transactions. Perfect. This is all good. So now let's set up your Nano. This is what we've been waiting for. So let's do this. Perfect. So this brings us to the Get Started screen. And it takes about 30 minutes to set up your device. So one of the things that you're going to need is you're going to need a pen because you need to write down those numbers. If you remember, let me grab it here. If you remember our little recovery sheet, that's a perfect place to start writing those down. They give you a whole bunch of them so you can, write it down, put it in a place that's secure, like a safety security box, a safe. You just don't want to leave one lying around where anybody could find it, because that recovery key is your money. So you want to take care of it absolutely with all you got. Okay, so we are now ready. And it gives you one last little warning here, so please be careful. Make sure you follow the instructions on this app at every step of the process. So we're going to say, got it. So here's the thing. If you absolutely botch setting this up, you can reset the Nano, and that is what I am going to be doing after this, because all of the codes and stuff I put in here, I'm going to show them to you as we go. So if you try to come in and steal my crypto, it's going to be too late, because this is all going to be a one-time setup, and I'm going to just erase it all at the end and start fresh with this Nano. Okay, perfect. Now, let's actually move to the next steps, which we're going to do on the Nano. Okay, so at this point, we're going to go back to our ledger, and we're going to actually select the pin. So you'll notice the two buttons on the top, we use those to navigate. So you'll notice where the arrow is. If we press on that button, it'll actually move us ahead. There we go. And it gives you a little bit of instructions in here as well, exactly how to navigate, which is kind of nice. So normally you'll press both buttons whenever you're ready to confirm, while just one left or right for moving around. And you'll see here, you can also restore from the recovery phrase as well. So let's get in here and let's actually get this pin set up, because that's kind of an important one. All right, since I'm going to be completely resetting this afterwards, I'm going to just, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to choose a very simple pin. I'm going to go with, well, you'll see here in a second. So we'll start with 1. Wonder what our next one will be. So 2 and 3, and we'll finish it off with 4. Now you can go, you can add more than just 4 digits, and never, please never, never, ever do 1, 2, 3, 4 as your password or PIN for anything. It's just one of those ones. You'd be amazed how many people actually do use 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so we've now gone and we've now confirmed that. So now the device is going to generate 24 words. This is going to be our passphrase. Whew. So let's get started on that. So here we go. It's going to give you each word, and you're going to write these down, because if you remember that sheet, that little card that came with it, let's start it and we'll write it down in the first one. So here we go. And it's important as well, you have to maintain the order as well. So you need to know that 1 is such and such, 2 is such and such. So in this case here, number 1 is amazing. So grab your sheet, let's write that down. Now I'm going to quickly jump ahead into the future to word 24. Okay, so as you can see, there is word number 24, explain. Of course, as we've been doing this, we have been writing these all down. You'll see it over here in my purple ink. You can certainly use a color other than purple if you want, or if you like purple, feel free to use the purple. Okay, now that we have that, the next thing to do is we're going to go in and it's going to, basically you can go back and you can double check them, but I usually say go into the test because it's going to confirm them. For each word we're going to cycle through, it's going to give us a few different words. One of them will be right, so we have to select the right one. So you'll notice here, for one, it's telling us guitar. It's not guitar, it's amazing. So we're going to slide this over till we see amazing. And now that we see amazing, we'll confirm. And it's going to do the same thing for the second word, and you'll notice as well, it's going to do it for the third. It's going to do it for all 24. Obviously, like before, I'm not going to make you sit here and do all 24. So let's jump ahead, shall we? So we're at the end of confirming all of those words. It is tedious. Like I said, it takes about 30 minutes. So you'll notice it now says that our recovery phrase is set. It's going to give us a few of the warnings about losing it and keeping everything secure, because it is really important that you do not lose this passphrase. Do not share it. This passphrase is your crypto, and you should treat it as such. It's not just a bunch of words. So it's very, very, very important. And now it's processing it, it's setting it up, and we're going to be able to go to our next step, which is actually going to be back in our live Ledger app so that we can get things going. Perfect. Let's head back over to our Ledger Live, and that way there we can start to set up a crypto address. All right, so I'm just going to pull up my dock. Beep. Here we go. Bring up the Ledger Live. Now it's going to show us the things that we've already done. So we have already set up our PIN code, and we've already done a recovery phrase. And it also gives you a little bit of a quiz just to make sure that, you've got your mind wrapped around it. So as a Ledger user, my crypto is stored. Well, it's stored on the blockchain. If my recovery phrase is no longer secure or private, well, of course you need to get it. You need to move your crypto to someplace safe. When I connect my Nano key to my Ledger app, my private key it's still offline, folks. That's why it's so secure. Perfect. So there we go. We are now already a pro. Let's come through, and it's just going to do a very quick check on the Nano, make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. So it will ask you to unlock your device. So just bring it up. It means that you have to put your PIN in it. I'm going to do that very quickly here. One thing about your PIN is if you get it wrong 3 times in a row, it will reset your Nano and you'll have to do the whole thing over again. You'll have to use your recovery phrases to recapture your, so take time, measure twice, cut once when it comes to your Nano. Okay, so now we need to allow, and all you have to do is just click your confirm button on your thing, and it's now hooking everything up. Bang. All right, all good. So it's genuine, it's set up. Now in here, we have a lot of different settings. They're not that complicated. You've got your typical under help, just your general. So preferred currency, for example, because you're in Canada, it will automatically set itself to Canadian CAD. Now we're pretty much ready to set up some addresses. So if we come over here and we come over to Manager, it may, if you've been sort of hanging around too long, it times out pretty quickly. It may ask for your PIN, but I think we've been fast enough. So this is where we can add different currencies. So in this case here, I already have Bitcoin and Ethereum added on my other ledger, so it's showing that right now. Normally, if this is your only ledger, you're not going to see it. So what you would do in a case like that is you would just choose install, and it will just basically install it. Once it's installed, then you can do a few different things. Like you'll see on the side menu, we have send, we also have receive. So receive is obviously what you'll do initially because you've got nothing to send, and it will show you what you have currently installed. So in this case, we have Bitcoin and we have Ethereum. So if I choose the Bitcoin, it's going to bring it up. We can click on continue. now it's going to now want to communicate with your app. So on your app, you would just enter your passcode, your PIN, and once you do that, it will take you to the next page. Now I'm just going to click don't have your device. So you can still access your address if you don't have your device. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to click on the show the QR code. So I normally will use the QR code. It's just so much easier because that way there on my phone, if I go to ShakePay and I want to transfer some Bitcoin over, I can just very easily in the transfer process use the QR code and it'll happen very, very quickly. If you don't have ShakePay, it's pretty much, well, it's not pretty much, it is Canada's best onboarding platform. So if you don't have ShakePay yet, check out my affiliate links down below. I have one for ShakePay. When you sign up, buy $100 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, you'll get $10 free. I'll get $10 free. It's a pretty cool thing. It's also pretty fast. I like it and they're very reliable. Anyway, that's ShakePay. Once you've got your money over here, and we're going to close this out of this for now, when you go to your portfolio, that's where you can see everything that's going on in your account. Now, right now, you'll see everything is started. That's because up here, you can see I have discrete mode on, so that way there I'm not showing my dollar figures. If you, of course, want to see how much money you have, don't turn discrete mode on, or else all you're going to see is these asterisks. And then down below, you'll see all of your different operations. And so you can tell from this that I definitely do a lot of dollar cost averaging in. So it's a nice little thing. And you can also tell here as well from this graph that I moved to Bitcoin, not moved to Bitcoin, but moved my Bitcoin into a hardware wallet back on July 17th. That's when I left good old BlockFi. Okay, so that's your basics here. There are a few other things that you can do that I really don't use. Like with the buy and sell, for example, you can buy crypto through Coinify if you have if you have an account with them. I have not tried it, so I honestly can't tell you how well that works. For me, like I said, I just onboard with ShakePay and I bring it over, and of course I'm always shaking every day with ShakePay as well, so that adds up and I send that over. So it works really, really, really well. Okay, so I think that's it in a nutshell. I think you're ready to start using your hardware wallet. This is awesome. There are a few little things that I do want to talk about, but I'm going to do it in a future video. One of them is good old Polkadot. When you're dealing with Polkadot, it's a lot more complicated to get them set up on your hardware wallet, but let's just say it's complicated enough to get its own video. So that'll be coming in the near future. Also, this Wednesday night, I'll be on Crypto Night in Canada, so be sure to jump over to Tim and Nancy Danter's channel. The link is down below to check that out. It should be a very good show. Well, they always have a pretty good show, so it is worth going over, subscribing, and checking it out. And the only last thing I have for you is if you liked this tutorial, please hit the like button. If you want to see more like this, hit subscribe, comment. This tutorial came from a comment on our Facebook page. So be sure to, as well, jump over to Facebook groups and links down below. Join up with the Financial Brew page and let's keep the conversation going. So until next time, my name is Candace. Thank you very much for taking a dip with me into the financial verse. Okay, take care.